Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. After a hiatus of crazy busy lives, you are here as always with Blake and Ferris.
Hola.
And of course, Ron.
What's happening?
Joining us all the way from Beijing. And we're excited, one, because we've been busy. So this has been hard to schedule to get us all, well, kind of in the same place. At least Ron's 12 hours ahead in Beijing. It's the lovely 8:25 in the morning for Ferris and I here.
Prime time to have a beer.
Yeah, on a Wednesday, kegs and eggs. And it's exciting because Ron managed to get us some beers so that we can do what we used to do when Ron was in the studio. We're going to all taste test and try the beers together at the same time, because you also have the same beers, correct, Ron?
Yeah. So through, a lot of different flights and handing beers off to different people in different parts of the world so that all the beers could arrive to you guys. It was quite the fun effort, but I snagged a bunch of beers. It's like sent them all your way.
Freaking Han Solo smuggling over here to get the beer.
International beer buddies.
Yeah, because I think it's cool that I can be in Beijing and you guys can be there and we can still be doing the same beers.
Oh, yeah, man.
You're just drinking beers at what they call a more appropriate time, but who's they? Who the hell is they?
Yeah, I'm not judging. But I will have some off time. I'll be back in Orlando in November. So I'm going to bring a whole bunch of Chinese beers with me. A whole bunch more, I should say. And we could have them on a pod while I'm there, but then we can also try them later.
It's the Chinese Thanksgiving special when you're down.
The Chinese, as Ron likes to put it.
I love it.
Yeah. So shall we get right to the beer?
Yeah, let's get to the beer. Then I have a fun little listener thing, and then we can roll into the content, so we can kind of catch up to where did we just wrap up match day 8?
8 in the, yeah, 8
okay, 8 in the
Clear Lake,
Lake.
yeah.
All right, so we got some stuff to talk about.
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah, let's do the beer, man.
All right.
Getting out.
So this one is a beer that perfectly fits the U.S. men's national team last night.
2-0 loss to Canada.
It's the U.S. men went to Canada and played at BMO Field, and for all intents and purposes, we just got beat. So it was rather cold up there. So I have a beer from Newfoundland called Iceberg.
Called Iceberg.
Iceberg.
Yep.
Yeah, because it was a chilly situation.
This beer is made with pure 20,000-year-old Iceberg water.
What the what?
What? Is that a blue bottle?
Yeah, it's a blue bottle.
Yeah. To show it's ice, right? Instead of a green bottle or a brown bottle.
Oh,
right.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this brewery, and I might destroy the brewery's name, but I think it's Quidi Vidi. I think it's Quidi Vidi, and it's a brewery.
Isn't that a Harry Potter character?
Very well could be. But now you have to say that in the most Canadian accent that you possibly can.
Yeah. Quidi Vidi, eh?
Quidi Vidi, eh? That's the sound of Canada turning us off. So this beer, so in St. John's, Newfoundland, the icebergs float past the harbor all the time. And occasionally big ones will get stuck in the harbor mouth or get floated into the harbor. So there was this particular time a few years ago where an iceberg basically blocked off the entire section of the mouth. And it was a big tourist attraction for a bit. And the owner of the brewery decided that he had a great idea, and he was going to follow out a bunch of ice harvesters, which there are people that go out in boats and they float out to the iceberg and they chip off ice, which is really dangerous. So this guy who owns the brewery, he decided he was going to take his .22 rifle and shoot the iceberg and then go pick up the pieces.
His name was Billy Bob.
No, his name is Charlie Reese.
Charlie Reese going out and shooting the icebergs with a 22.
Yeah. Yep. And so then he picked up all of the ice chunks and he started brewing a beer with it. It's a lager, and it's pretty clear. It's going to have a kind of a golden color, a little bit of a light golden color to it.
It's a really simple bottle for the crazy story you just told.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
Yeah.
Is this our first Newfoundland beer?
Newfoundland? Yes.
Newfoundland Indian beer?
Yeah, how do you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's for sure the first we've had. Yeah.
So this little place is super cool. This little tap room that I'm going to say Quidi Vidi Brewing has. And they have about 12 of their own beers on tap, which is super cool, including a cappuccino stout, a New England IPA, a gin and tonic blonde ale called the Drops of Juniper.
We need that.
Oh, that sounds good.
Stat on this show.
I know, right?
Blake loves him some gin and tonic.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. So they have their own little tap room, and then also they highly encourage the recycling of the bottles, because the locals are very, a bunch of Canada is very, earth-centric, all about recycling and taking care of the environment and the atmosphere. So all of the locals just bring the bottles back to the brewery. They wash them out, sanitize them, and reuse them. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. So
well, tell your Canadian friends, I'm sorry, I live in Polk County, Florida. I don't freaking recycle glass anymore.
Yeah, but that's not your fault.
No, I've already had my public war with the town council on Facebook, trying to put it behind me.
We could tell.
Yeah.
So this brewery is also a big part of the community. Every Friday night they have a famous kitchen party. And essentially it's traditional Irish music, stories, gigantic dinners, and beer. Then they have Witty Thursdays, which is, kind of a time to play, another time to play music, a little bit of stand-up comedy. I guess that's the witty part. And then they do a Saturday boil, where they have, of course, live music, and they do giant stew boils, kind of like what do they do in the South here, Blake, in the U.S.?
Well, yeah, there's the crawfish. There's Brunswick stew. There's
Low Country.
I'm thinking
of the Low Country boil. Yeah, so similar to that. And go to the website. QuidiVidiBrewery.ca, QuidiVidi Brewery.ca, and check it out. It's a cool little spot. Looks like a fun little brewery, and a cool town to go, have a pint or two in.
Everything you just said, I could live in that town. That's fine. The town literally
giant icebergs.
No, that doesn't sound.
They hang
fun.
out all the time. They recycle for the brewery. That's what a cool little village.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So shall we crack this?
Let's do it. I got the super duper.
Oh, I thought you said I have a 22. Just standing by. I was gonna shoot the cap off.
Shoot this off like Billy the Kid and Young Guns.
Exactly.
All right, here we go.
Charlie Reese. God, that is a blue bottle. What was that really? I really hope this is. I doubt this is going to taste like that. But what was a really bad drink in the 90s that had a blue bottle? Zima?
You're talking about Zima?
Is that what it was?
Oh my God, I haven't thought about that in forever.
Zima.
Did you put a Jolly Rancher in?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Man, this smells really really malty.
Thank you.
It's
It is
so clear.
Super clear. Super clear. Like, wow.
Like it's
That's the
not no
Iceberg
offense.
water.
It's Bud Light clear. Like it's very clear.
Yeah.
Ooh,
But it does not smell like Bud
It does
Light, though.
absolutely not.
No. That smells good.
Ooh, I can't wait.
It's almost, this is going to sound weird, but the smell, it's almost got like a cidery after smell.
Yeah, almost. I can smell that.
All right, let's try this. Our first intercontinental beer tasting. There we go.
Iceberg beer.
Boom. Cheers.
Sláinte.
Cheers.
Oh, man.
Ooh,
Definitely not a Bud Light.
You could,
that is awesome.
if you gave if you gave me 6 of those right now, they'd be done by 9 a.m.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
That's delicious.
Man, what a good beer.
That's
It's,
really light and effervescent for a beer.
and a little on the malty side, but very crisp.
Yeah. Like there's not a ton of complexity. It's just simply good.
Yes. Clean, crisp.
Of course, I guess if you're going to make beer with an iceberg, like get out of the way, man. Just put what you need in there.
Exactly.
Oh,
The
that's
Iceberg
so
do the
good.
talking.
Oh, I like to think we're drinking woolly mammoth bits right now.
Okay.
I mean, who knows?
Thank you, Blake.
I mean, it is 20,000 years old, right? So
Exactly.
the snow just compacts over such a long period of time and becomes ice, which means it's got tiny little bubbles of the atmosphere, but no minerals and no other pollutants in it.
Would it be like it is in Antarctica where like the ice fizzes in water because there's carbon dioxide in it?
I don't think so. I think you're too low for that.
Okay. So you got to get down to like Antarctica for that to happen, not like over in
Yeah.
Newfoundland. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're too close to the equator for that kind of thing.
That's awesome, dude.
What a good beer.
Man, Ferris just showed me a sweet picture he took of the beer. Ferris has been trying to up his game since you are official photographer. Is not in the country.
Oh, yeah?
Trying to.
Before we get to the
Just
content,
you wait, because I've got a good one coming.
oh, good. Before we get to the content, I want to Ron. I think I sent you a picture already, but I want to show Ferris.
Oh, yeah.
This awesome gift from a listener, Lee Malaby, or Malby, who does the unofficial Universal podcast. I met him down here in Orlando over the weekend. He did a big meet and greet for people to listen to his show, and he brought us a Darlington FC
That's cool, man.
scarf, and it's from 2011. It's not just any scarf. His little local club, which by the way is fan owned. It's one of the few in Britain that are fan owned. It is from Wembley at the 2011 FA Trophy for their group, basically.
Oh, wow.
Quakers.
And here, I'm going to pass this to you, Fair, so you check it
that's
out. But let me
awesome,
give
man.
you a quick little heads up on the story of that game. Lee and his wife, Tracy, so cool, so awesome to meet them. Had a blast hanging out with them and kind of getting the story about this. So the 2011 FA Trophy final was the 42nd of the Football Association's Cup competition between levels 5 through 8 of the English Football League system. If you remember a previous episode, when we were sort of talking about the different divisions that lay in the FA in England. So these guys are.
This is non-league football, correct?
Yes, they are they are members of the National League North.
Yes.
The 6th tier of English football. They were playing this final against Mansfield Town. They are in the 4th tier of English football. So they are, obviously a better club. Also, Darlington almost did go into bankruptcy. So this little town that he was telling me, they raised like hundreds of thousands of pounds and they bought the area to play in and took over the club.
That's awesome.
So it's a fan-owned club. So
cool.
What's really cool, obviously this was a big deal, 2011. They got to Wembley. I was like, you sure you want to give me this scarf, man? I mean, how many do you have? He goes, it's okay. I have 3. I stole my son's. But basically, the game was crazy. So these guys, they're down and watching this in Wembley, 2011. Their little club has made it all the way, and it's made of people who are like part-time players and stuff. Like that's who's in this club for Darlington. It says Mansfield Town, they defeated Worksop Town, Newport County, Alfred Town, Chase Town, and Luton Town on route to the final.
That's a lot of towns.
I know. Luton Town, interesting enough, I used to work with someone whose parents partially own that.
And Luton Town used to be in the football leagues, I think.
Yes, and they've come up and down.
Yeah.
Darlington, they defeated Tamworth, Bath City, AFC, Telford United, Salisbury City, and Gateshead en route to the final. I just want to throw these names out because these are teams we've never talked about.
Gateshead.
So Darlington won 1-0. The match ended in a 0-0 draw, 0-0. The goal was scored by Chris Sr., one of their shortest players, a header in the 119th minute.
That's awesome.
Seconds before the match was due to end in a penalty shootout, and Darlington won 1-0.
That's awesome.
Oh.
So, what a cool scarf exchange. I was like, well, this is an Orlando City scarf that is the first official scarf made once they became MLS, but I have no cool victory stories to tell you about this one. That's as cool as yours. What a cool scarf exchange, and plus a scarf that's got so much freaking history in it. Like,
that is bad.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
And they took down all the towns to get it.
Yeah, every town. Attendance at Wembley Stadium was 25,000 that day, May 7th, 2011.
To play in Wembley for a club like Darlington, that is awesome.
That's huge. And they just won their first FA Cup qualifier, which was good for them. Because for them, they actually know, he can tell at the top of his head, oh, yeah, we got so many thousands of pounds off that. Because since it's
a long way.
Well, because it's a fan-owned club, they all know about the finances very well. You know what I mean? Like he knew, because they need that money.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's fan-owned and operated?
Well, you've got your managers and stuff, but as far as fan
board or whatnot,
my assumption is then you've got this group that's that's running the whole thing, that's all fan owned. So I don't know how it works with their board, but their history is pretty crazy. They were founded in 1883. So they've been around forever, man. I'm looking at some of the stuff here. Obviously, the win at Wembley Stadium for 2011 was huge. But it said Darlington moved to an all-seater, 25,000 capacity Darlington Arena in 2003. The cost of the stadium was a major factor in driving the club into administration in 2012. What here we would call bankruptcy. So that's 2012. That's just a year after this FA trophy. Because the club was unable to agree to a creditor's voluntary agreement, it was expelled from the Football Association. A new club was immediately formed, but the FA ruled that as a new club, it must have a different playing name from the expelled club. The name chosen was Darlington 1883. And that club was placed in the Northern League Division 1, the 9th tier of English football for the 2012-2013 season. They won 3 promotions in 4 seasons before the FA approved their request to change the name back to the traditional Darlington FC. How cool is that?
That is awesome. And they're on a good little run now.
I think they've got 4 in a row. They
got 4 in a row. They won the FA Cup second qualifying round. Darlington 3-1 over Stratford, full time back in September, and then in the National League South. Listen to this though, match day 12 of 42. That is a stretch and a half. Ooh. Holy mackerel! Darlington 2-1 over Alfreton Town. I think I'm saying that right. And then the one that Lee was talking about, the last one. As of 10-5, third round qualifying for FA Cup, Darlington, Linghamton, Darlington 2-0.
Yeah, so
Quakers.
And what's great is this guy did a private little video blog for Ferris, Ron, and I, where he showed us walking out to his hometown club, and it's, for those of you here, our American listeners, it's small. To say minor league is not even a correct, this is an itty bitty place, and he's showing us this is a big deal. This guy they signed for the club is like the 3rd or 4th string on the English football national team and stuff like that. So it was real fascinating. So we are going to, and I spoke to Lee when he was down here and visiting. At some point we are going to get him on the show so we can get a taste of what that lower division football life is like, And then plus I want to get the story of going from the FA Cup, going from the FA Trophy in 2011 and then literally bankrupt the next year, and then what the town had to do to pull everything back together. So We should have a fun little lower league division story coming at you soon.
Yes. All right. Little test here. Guess how many teams are in the National League?
Let's see.
Didn't we do this?
No. I don't think we did the National League. I don't.
And where does the National League start?
This is non-league. I know it's National League, but it's technically the non-leagues of football. So they're allowed to play in the FA Cup. They cannot play in the Chupacabra Cup, though. Because that's the league cup.
The Caribou Cup.
Sure.
Yeah.
That too.
Right.
There are 44 teams in the National League, 22 in the North and 22 in the South. Where currently is Darlington? Where are the Quakers located?
I'm going to say they're like, I want to say in the Northern Division. They're
correct. Yes.
They're like 10th.
Ron?
I'm going to hedge the bet and say 6.
Blake's closest to the hole. They're in 12th.
Oh, I knew. Well, I cheated. I mean, I asked. That
Okay. Well, you didn't tell me that
when he was here, but that was a week ago. So I mean, things may have changed.
A lot happens in a week. This is true. Who currently leads the North Division and who leads the South Division? Though that is the question. God, these teams are fantastic. I wish Dorking Wanderers led it, but they don't. They're in 4th in the South.
You have to give us a multiple choice.
Okay. So for the North, you either have Hereford, Gloucester City. There you go. Gloucester.
Lee is going to make so much fun of our pronunciations.
Or York City. I don't remember what the hell.
I'm going to say Gloucester's up top.
I'm going to go with York.
You're going with York?
Yes.
Ron will be correct. In York City.
York City.
They lead. They are top of the North with 13 games played, 8 wins, 5 draws, 0 losses. 29 points, plus 17 on the goal difference for York City. All right, moving to the South. Here we go. God, these names are brilliant. Maidstone United.
I love that name.
Or we got Eastbourne Borough, Dartford, or Weldstone.
Ooh, that's a good one. Weldstone.
I'm going to go with Maidstone. I just like that name.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Maidstone United.
I'm going to go with Weldstone. I'm going to pronounce it like that because I think that's how they pronounce it.
You think it's
sure,
Weldstone?
Why not, Ron? You figured out my multiple choice. I just go last with what is the correct choice. So you figured that out. Congratulations, Ron. You win the National League Football Club. Guess where this team's at?
What?
Game.
It's the National Football.
Yeah, that doesn't quite roll off the tongue as it is.
Yeah.
But if any, now here's the thing. The cool thing about the FA Cup is some of those teams, if they advance and they get to the third round proper, they could be playing and probably beating a Manchester United, a Chelsea, a Wolves. They could be playing a very big team. So you could see some of these teams like Kingsley Town. You could see them in the FA Cup on your television screens very soon, depending on... You may even see Darlington. They just won their third round, fourth round. They somehow have to get to the third round proper, and then...
And for a club like that, that's a chunk of change, and that's huge.
Massive. And you would... You always want a away day? No, you want... Did you want the big clubs to come to you, or you to go to the big clubs? I think you want the big clubs to come to you. No.
I think at the big club, you get more people there, right? Size-wise?
Right. So I think you want to go away to the big clubs or something. I don't remember.
I don't know. I think you'd want to play them. I think you'd want to be as comfortable as you can, and your home ground is the place you're most comfortable.
Right. I'm just trying to think of which is more lucrative for the club.
I think one's financially better than the other. But that's a good question for Lee. We'll get him on the show. So again, thanks, Lee.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, gentlemen. It's It's really match week 3 through 8.
Yeah, that's what we
right. That's where
what we missed.
That's where we all got busy and life got crazy.
5 weeks of Premier League flew by.
Well, but what's kind of interesting, Shiny, I wish we could have gotten together during that time. However, stories have really started to take shape in the Premier League. And I think we can kind of address what's going on a little better than week by week of well, maybe if this continues. Nope. We have seen the trends
So far.
and the trends are here.
Yeah, it's still really early in the Premier League season. So week 8, and there are now 30 match weeks left. So we're still very early. We've knocked down now. It'll be 2 international breaks thrown in there as well. But the table is definitely starting to form, and I don't know if it's quite what everybody thought. It is. I mean, for the first 2 teams, that's not going to be a surprise. But then about third through the very last team. Third through 20th, there are teams where you don't expect them to be on the good side of things and the bad side of things.
Well, I actually think they're surprised from second place down in the sense that I know it's early and that this was going to be a race we all thought between Man City and Liverpool. But Liverpool's really putting some distance between them and Man City. Man City has had some struggles.
Oh, yeah.
That they should not have had.
I mean, just on the last match week, they lost 2-0 to Wolves at the Etihad. That's and Wolves are by no means a bad team sitting about mid-table, but Man City, they have their main defender and no De Bruyne in that game, and look what happened. That's not away. That's at home when you need a result, because now the gap is 8 points, which is not insurmountable, and you still have to play 2 times over Liverpool. But assuming that you win each of those, that's still a 2-point. That's still 1 game. So Liverpool has to drop some points somewhere here for City to even start to get back into this,
which isn't likely given their current form.
No, because Liverpool's doing that thing where they've had some ugly games, but unlike Man City, they're pulling through and winning them regardless. It's that sort of thing that champions tend to do of even on your off day, you still pull a win, which is what Man City did last year. And right now that's kind of where Liverpool's been sitting. They've had some games recently that were like
Sheffield United where the goalie just bobbled it into his own net.
Leicester. I mean, that was a good match between the two of them, but they come out winning, and I don't know. It's early on, but man, it just feels like this is Liverpool's to lose by far.
Oh yeah, 100%. I do think it is going. The season's going to get spicier, and Liverpool are going to drop some points here or there. They've already dropped a game in the Champions League to Napoli, I believe, and they're getting close to dropping it in the Premier League. Do I think it's going to be on Sunday against United? No, probably not. But if Sheffield doesn't bobble that ball over the line, and there wasn't a questionable penalty call in the Leicester match, who was right. I mean, they were in that game. They could have dropped 2 points, and that gap is now not quite 8. That gap is smaller and gives City a chance. So I think as we're getting into the thick of things now after this break, it is going to get very interesting to see the back and forth between City and Liverpool. They will certainly be they'll be checking out the other team, seeing the news, and seeing what they have to do to try to get just any sort of ground, whether that's getting further away or just trying to scrape back into it.
Yeah, I think also the thing we have to worry about too is Liverpool staying healthy. So you're really going to, if they're majority playmakers, if you lose a Mane or you lose
Van Dijk,
I think, you're you could be, it could get shaky for Liverpool. So I think while I still think they're the best team in the league, and the points show that, but they got to stay healthy. If they stay healthy, I think they win it.
Yeah, and to that point, I think they get Allison back this weekend, and obviously that was a big loss. And Adrian's done solid in net, but he's not Allison, and that's where like a game in Napoli, they did have a defeat where would Allison have stopped all three of those goals or kind of urge the team in front of him to play better? I don't know, but yeah, Ron, that's 100% it. Is if they start to get the case of the injury bug like City has, it could get very interesting because one key loss to them, like a De Bruyne or a Laporte, and things could go sideways real fast.
Yep.
So that's the best 1 and 2. Yeah. Now there's the rest.
That's pretty much it. Arsenal sitting in third with a +2 goal difference.
My club, and I'm as shocked as anybody. Yeah, Arsenal in third right now. I mean, I feel like
they're there.
They are there. They feel more competitive than in 3 years. In terms of any game, like they play Sheffield this Monday, I'm like, oh, they could lose that.
They could,
but they go and play Man City, they could win that too. They're very odd. They're in a very odd space right now where they go like, and it very much reminds me of Liverpool 3 or 4 years ago. Scoring isn't a problem. They just can't defend. But I will say in the recent FA Europa League, the back line with Tierney, Bellerin, even Mustafi, like Bellerin getting healthy is huge.
Yes.
So if Bellerin comes back, Tierney gets into the first club.
That'll be an upgrade of that back line by far.
That could help a lot to where Arsenal could cruise into a top 4 finish, especially aided by how rough everyone else is having it right now. It's that top, third place through like 8th. All those clubs are, nobody's just firing on where you're like, oh, that's
the third through 8 is separated by 3 points.
Yeah. But it definitely, I feel like Emery's got an opportunity to get back in the Champions League. If he could do that on his second year, then that'd be huge. And I think you say,
you know what? You have about as much chance getting in there as you have of Peter Cech playing ice hockey. Wait a second.
he blocked a couple of penalties.
He was player of the game. Yeah.
That dude's
so funny.
How about his mask too? I don't know. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
I just read,
it's got the UK flag on the top, and I don't know. He's got somebody's face on the neck guard, but I can't tell who that person is.
Yeah, I couldn't tell that. But on either side, he has the cannons of the gunners on one side, and something Chelsea on the other side. It was a pretty cool mask, but the big man in net.
Yeah, he's playing for the Gulliford Phoenix.
And first game in,
powerhouses,
knocks a couple of penalties out of the way.
Good poke check there on that awesome.
Better check. New star of the NHL coming soon. He's not going to come play in the MLS. He's going to come to NHL. But yeah, I don't know.
I just thought that was so great when I saw it.
Oh, it's amazing. When you said he had a face on it, at first I was thinking when you do that thing where you print your face on a mask and wear your own face and it's really creepy looking. That in my head it was his own face on it.
No, it's somebody in like a suit and a tie. And
Banger?
It's like no, it doesn't. I don't know.
I'm trying to find a
I want it to be like Two-Face from Batman, but it's half Wenger, half a Mourinho.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Petr Cech, hockey helmet.
Oh, here it is. I think that's. No, it's not Wenger. You're right, Ron.
I'm going to go
Who
with...
the hell is that?
Let me see it. You got the picture over there?
And then, just zoom in.
Oh, so he does have the Chelsea logo
okay.
on his left side.
There it is, yeah.
Yeah, and the Arsenal on the right. I can't tell who that is. Let's say it's Dick Van Dyke. Makes it fun.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Diagnosis Murder. One of my favorite shows.
Diagnosis Murder.
You guys give me crap for that. I love that show.
Oh, God, I love it.
All right, so there's a number associated with this man. 39. What the hell? 39 and Peter Cech. I'm going to
for his
Google
for
find
for
this
his
out.
For his goalie jersey. For his number?
No. Like on the part where the guy. This it's a very good like picture. We just don't know who the hell it is. He's smiling and basically staring at the number 39.
You got me. Look that up.
Oh wow.
So why?
What are you wowing over there?
I'm just marveling at the at his helmet or his mask.
I still think if it was his whole face on it, like a Jason mask, hockey mask, but his face, that would have been way better. Well, I'll swing from Arsenal real quick to, did any of us pick Leicester to end in the top 4 or 6?
Don't believe so.
No.
Because right now,
I don't think I did.
Leicester sitting at forward, Brendan Rodgers, they don't look bad at all.
No, they're definitely doing good. And what's interesting is that they have a bunch of people scoring, it's not just the Jamie Vardy show.
No, not at all.
James Maddison.
Is that who it is?
Yeah. He's been fantastic so far this year. He's the one that has helped propel me to number 2 in our fantasy league table thus far.
If I just started Dunk, I would have been there.
Started off down there at the bottom, the 2 now.
Leicester definitely has the ability to, unfortunately for Ron and I, keep an Arsenal or a Chelsea out of the top 4. They look very good. They're very calm and collected. If the Broads could roll in and get them into a Champions League situation, huge.
Well, and one of the things that the Broads is doing is something that why did it take so long for Leicester to refigure this out? But they're getting Jamie Vardy more involved. They are making him lead the line. He is the number 1. There's not really anybody playing behind him. There is James Maddison, who's playing kind of the Mahrez role. He doesn't play out to the right or left side. He mainly plays down the center, but getting Vardy involved is just going to reap that team so many benefits. He runs the channels very, very well. He's strong, he's quick, and he has a hell of a shot from basically anywhere on the pitch. They have made him the focal point of the offense that they have, and it is just paying dividends so far.
Yeah, Leicester City's back to being a very fun club to watch. Their Liverpool match was a blast.
Yeah.
And they played well enough against one of the best teams that even the Broads seemed pretty happy after that loss.
Yeah, I think too he's got so much midfield talent that while they're not the most talented bunch, they play so well together that it kind of elevates them, right? Because like Ferris said, you have James Maddison, who's clearly leading the charge, but you've also got Barnes and Ndidi, who are playing. They're probably having some of the best football of their careers this year.
Well, and Leicester's in that spot where, having won the Premier League 4 years ago, 3 years ago now. Geez, it's been a while. I'll return back to the Champions League for them, trying to establish themselves as a top 6 team. You know what I mean? Like this is a chance they can do that. Get more money coming in, be smart about who you bring in, and start to build on that legacy. So there's a lot weighing on the Broads to do this, but because they were kind of struggling, I feel like he's got a little freedom to do his thing. And obviously the players are responding and they're enjoying playing for him.
They certainly are. You know who else just responded, gentlemen?
Who's that?
P.I. Ferris.
Oh, ding, 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 ding.
ding, 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 ding. Okay. Okay, number 39.
Oh, for Petr Cech.
For Petr Cech. Okay, so
Petr.
Gross.
Man, this Iceberg beer is real good there, Ron. Okay. It's Cech 39, okay? But who is that face?
Yeah, who's the face?
Who's a legendary goalkeeper I used to love watching in the NHL that is Cech? Not Petr Cech. Czechoslovak. Yeah.
Oh, he's Czechoslovakian? I don't know.
Oh, great goaltender.
Who did he play for?
The Sabres mainly in the NHL.
Oh,
you should know this one.
I have no idea.
Come on.
Terrible with NHL. I know Wayne Gretzky. He was a guy.
Where is Chris Boyce at when you need him? Dominic Hasek.
Hold on. Oh, I was going to say, give me a hint. I was
close. Dominic Hasek, the great Czech in the NHL, who I think also wore 39, but that is the face on Petr Cech's mask.
Petr Cech.
Whatever the hell his damn name is. He stopped 2 penalties and he player of the main for the
Guilford Phoenix.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you, Private Investigator Ferris.
At your service.
I don't know what we'd do without you. Now, rolling to 5th place, but I actually feel like from 3rd to 5th, this club has more optimism, positivity to look at right now, and that's Chelsea.
Do we?
I think
a lot of youth. I agree.
Yeah,
I 100%.
You are making look with this transfer ban. You should be sitting where a terrible team like Man United is, not where Chelsea is.
I'm not going to get an argument out of me this time.
but you guys aren't. You're punching above the weight, I feel like, of the club. You've found youth that's fantastic. So I feel like at the end of this year, whenever are you able to do the January transfer window?
Yes.
No. Yeah. Is that one?
No.
Yeah.
Or is it the next summer?
It ends this one.
No.
Okay.
It ends on this one.
Well, get to work in Private Investigator.
Yeah. P.I. Ferris. Gumshoe Ferris on the case.
You gumshoes.
But I think with what they've found and starting to develop with their young talent, I think whenever their next window is, it changes things. Instead of having to go, oh my God, we have to find a team. You got a team. You got to find a couple of right parts. But I mean, right now you're fun to watch play too.
Okay,
it was a 2-window ban. So for which would have been the summer this January, which means they are free to sign the summer of 2020.
So it is this January too.
Correct.
Holy crap! If Frank
That's
Lampard,
right. They were trying to appeal for it to be only one.
It says Chelsea though are still waiting to hear their appeal from the Court of Arbitration Sport (CAS) to overturn the transfer ban. Good luck.
Oh, that sucks because they're spinning their wheels trying to figure out what to do in January just in case.
Yep.
But no, man, I think you guys do. I think you've. I certainly picked up Tony Abrams on my fantasy team, and he's
a
great.
scoring machine right now.
Yeah, I think you guys.
He's playing hell.
Oh, Mount,
he's playing great. Fuka Tomori.
I think Mount. Yeah, he as long as he's not getting carded, he's pretty good. He has a lot of frustration in him, but he's playing very well.
I think you got a lot to look forward to, man. I think Lampard, if he can do this with what the situation he was put in, where we all said, if you guys don't have a great season, it's no harm, no foul because he inherited a kind of a crap situation. Mm-hmm. If he does better than expected, then that's going to be huge for him. And I think you're on the path for that.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely doing better than I expected we would. And I think the one question mark that I still have about Chelsea Football Club is why is N'Golo Kante being played out of position? I still don't understand that.
Frankie Lampard can't be perfect, man. That's true.
No, it's true.
Frank.
Nobody's perfect. I think Pedro, I think the team is really stepping up. I will say the veterans of the team have been stepping up really well. You can tell that Willian, although he may not be happy staying at the club, he is still playing. He's still got heart. Pedro, is still playing with all his might. And to be honest,
74 years old of him.
Do you think it helps because it's Frankie Lampard they're playing for instead of sitting around being frustrated?
Yeah, I think the morale is much better.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, you're much more willing to go out and play hard. Even if you're not best friends with the manager, or you specifically click with the manager as well, the fact that the team isn't tearing itself apart from the inside, I think is good.
Yeah, look back to all what was happening with the end of hashtag sorry not sorry. Like, I mean, it looked the whole team was going to collapse. So that right there already, Frank Lampard is
under
doing
the
well.
ashes of a nice Marlboro cigarette.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
But and one thing I think that Chelsea is getting absolutely just spot on right now is the lovely mixture of the veteran talent and the youth that are there. And they have that veteran. Who else would you want to help lead what is the defense in midfield other than Cesar Azpilicueta and N'Golo Kante? Then you have Pedro up front along with Giroud, and those are all. I mean, they've been around the leagues for a long time.
Hold on a second,
and they're all very just good, veterans that aren't like the Diego Costas of the world or anything that.
Giroud not here for long. He is not happy with the second fiddle position he's playing. And he has already talked about MLS, wants to go to either DC, Miami,
good for him,
LA, or New York. And we're like, come on, buddy.
But the Chelsea,
bring that sexy hair to Orlando.
Yes. but those Chelsea players don't give a shit. All they do is look at that man's beard and fall in love and say, we want to play for the beard, baby.
Yeah. The other interesting thing is, for, I don't know, the first time in a while, having to watch Christian Pulisic figure out where he is in the team. He's had more games that he sat than started.
Well, but you say first time in a while, but is it really that long ago when he left Dortmund because he wasn't getting time?
Yeah, he was, and then all of a sudden it dried up over there.
And I mean, he is a fantastic talent, and I think he can go, I mean, so far, but is he, something else is going on because you can't get into Dortmund, you can't get into a Chelsea team where you really should be on a lot of youth that are there. I mean, Frankie, he comes out and basically says, Pulisic needs to earn it. He needs to work for his spot in the team.
Yep. And I don't disagree with that at all.
Right.
I just think he's been completely outshined by Mount.
You think after we get past January, so if the band holds, you think he'll get loaned out in the summer?
No, I don't. I think we need him too much for depth.
This is going to sound weird, but Pulisic would have almost thrived more so at.
You want to say something like an Everton,
needed to be a
Watford?
He needed a mid-table club, or just lower than mid-table, and he'd be shining like crazy.
Possibly, but I'm thinking more of a PSG of a Liverpool to extent, where there is a lot of talent around him that allows him to play free and on the wing and not really have any other responsibilities. Where, yes, he's young and the Chelsea's in the rebuild phase with this young talent, but I don't think he's the young talent that needs to be in that. They need the Mounts that's coming down the center, the Abraham up front to where him and Mount can have this connection. The Fuka, what's the guy's name? Whatever, and the back that has a core there. This young winging talent that is there needs balls played over the top, needs talent around him to allow him to play as free as he can. And that's not really the case right now because the rest of the team is just really working so hard to get goals and to stop balls going in their own net that he's just kind of on the outskirts of the team, both if he's on the pitch or if he's not. And
I don't think he would have thrived that well in a top. When I say a top tier team, I don't mean Chelsea at the moment because it's kind of a interesting year, but there's no way he's getting playing time at a Liverpool or a Man City with the depth of talent that those guys have.
He might get playing time based in all the competitions that they're in.
Yeah, but it's not enough. It's not, someone who's scoring.
Okay.
For strikers and people who score on the offense, you really need that continuity of play because you get on those hot streaks. And then you've seen it with Alexis Sanchez. He gets sat for 2 matches. He's cold as this Iceberg beer.
He's real cold now.
Yeah. And then he's in a 4-match, 5-match slide without a goal. So I don't pretend to have the answers, but I don't think Christian Pulisic thrives at a Liverpool or a Man City. Only playing the FA Cup or only playing Champions League.
The only thing I would give him for Liverpool would be that it would reunite him with Klopp, who seemed to know how to get stuff out of him. That'd be the only thing I'd.
Well, okay. Take those top teams out of it and go to the team that's right above you. What if he switched his blue jersey for the blue jersey of the Foxes?
Oh,
I think he would thrive in that team a lot more so than what he's doing now.
I could see him going under the barrage and having a good year.
It's not so going gross. To occur. But
it's so gross that it is the barrage.
But we just talked about all the great talent that's clicking at Leicester, and I don't. The style of play is not quite there.
Well, if they make it to Champions League, they might need him.
Yeah, right.
They might need him next year.
Yeah.
Because Christian P is a proven Champions League player. So, I mean, someone else trying to get in the Champions League, guys tied at 14 with Chelsea, freaking Crystal Palace in 6th. I don't care that it's only 8 games in. Nobody thought that. No, nobody.
And they're getting a lot of scoring from their backs. Oh gosh, his name just completely. I have him in my fantasy team. Oh Lord, I can't remember, but he is a scoring machine right now. I think he scored in their last game before the break, and they're getting just very solid team play. They have a very
Van Aanholt.
Van Aanholt, yes, Van Aanholt, thank you. They have a very solid back line with Gary Cahill back there. An own goal waiting to occur that hasn't occurred yet, but I'm sure give it time. 30 more games. And they have
only a matter of time.
Exactly. They have a very they have a midfield that's very dense. It's just there's a lot of people there that make it hard for teams to break down. And yeah, I think Palace are playing well. Do I think they end up in 6th? No, I think they end up probably somewhere in the 10th.
But if they can end up in the top 10, that'd be a big finish coming out of last year. Below them is Burnley, who I almost forget that this high because I feel like they're not playing well enough to be in 7th.
+2 though.
Yeah, but they are.
They've been very quietly climbing back up from the fiasco of last season.
And you said it quietly. Not exciting. It's not drawing any attention. We just blink and turn around and go, hey, are they in 6th? Yeah.
Yeah. They're just grinding out the wins and the draws where they need them. They're playing, how do I put this? They're playing good enough.
Yeah.
Right? They're not spectacular. They're playing good enough.
Well, good enough.
And they've had some decent draws where they needed them, and they're one of the teams that beat Norwich when Norwich was flying high as the top of the table killer. So that's a good boost. then having a draw with Aston Villa and then beating Everton. And while the Everton win may not seem like much in the realm of this year because Everton is currently 18th at -7, Everton is still a pretty popular and big club. So to go out and beat them, it's a good morale boost.
Well, you've definitely gone from last year, which was a real possible relegation situation, to I don't foresee that being a problem. I think even if they struggle here and there, that this is a good year for them because there are teams below them that are struggling way worse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But although club below them, West Ham in 8th, 0 goal differential, 12 points. They are fun to watch play, though.
Yeah.
They are having fun. They kind of play open, which hurts them, but then that's what makes them fun to watch them play.
They have a number 9 this year. Which
they do.
That's a big help. Sebastian Haller come in from
Holla.
I knew someone was going to do that.
Yeah, well, no one said it yet. I felt like I had to.
But he came in from Germany, Mainz, or I don't remember where. But he has bagged in a few goals thus far and has really helped the likes of Yarmolenko, who is now back and fit and playing very, very well, and Anderson on the other side. And that kind of front three there is putting some balls in the back of the net, something that West Ham hasn't always done. They would always kind of win these like 1-0 or 2-1 games, and they beat United 2-0, which is no big feat, but they are really looking like a solid team, and a team that I don't know if they're going to push for the top 6, but I could see them ending where they're at now, which would be an 8th, and that would be a very solid year for the Hammers.
Yeah, above a crazy. I didn't think this. I think I picked the next team to be way higher in the rankings. Tottenham sitting at 9th.
Oh, say it again. It's the one thing that's making this Arsenal situation feel good right now.
Oh no, there's one more thing that's making this whole situation feel good, and that's Manchester United at 12th.
Hi, here we are.
So
all the way down here.
Did any of us pick Pochettino as the first coach to get canned?
No.
Well, he wouldn't be, right?
Well, no, yeah, we got
the
he's
second
not.
coach.
Yeah.
Wait, who was the first one again?
The Watford manager that they brought, the manager that got fired before him back.
Oh yeah,
right.
The guy they fired,
Javi Garcia.
Yeah,
or is he the one that came back?
Garcia. No, Garcia got moved. Which none of us picked him.
No.
Well, they thought because we thought they thought that we were
Kiki Sanchez Flores is back in.
Yeah, we thought he was going to do good, but
he's got such a great name, Kiki Sanchez Flores.
What's up, Kiki Sanchez Flores? Any three of those names is a great first name. Yeah.
Yes. I didn't think about that one, but yeah.
What's up, Sanchez? What's up, Kiki? Yeah, I love it. No, Tottenham. Let's just talk about it.
A little bit of a stumble so far.
You cannot a 7-1 loss at home to Bayern Munich. Not that Bayern Munich's a slouch squad, but a 7-1 loss followed by a 3-0 loss to Brighton Hove Albion. Ooh. That is a 1-2 punch that feels like it's almost a backbreaker.
Coming out of the, speaking of backbreaker, coming out of the international break is going to be a real test for them. I don't quite know who they have coming out. They have Watford, which they should get the win.
Oh, what should they lost 3-0 to Brighton Hove Albion?
All right, but
Brighton Hove can't even score a goal.
on a -16 right now in last place. So Tottenham really, 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 really should get a win. If they don't, then I think that's the dam that breaks the back of Pochettino, or whatever that this saying is. But they're still on a +2. They are still in the top 10. It's early. They have a lot of talent. The hard part is you need to move Eriksson on because he doesn't want to be there. He comes in at like the 67th, and sometimes he feels like playing, and sometimes he doesn't. They just had Lloris with a horrific injury on the last match day, that's a loss for them. He so it's not looking too good at Tottenham, but hopefully, and they should really get a win at Watford this coming Saturday that will maybe just kind of give them a little bit of a push in the positive
I love that you're like,
direction.
look, Watford's the worst team in the league. They should get a win.
Should, yeah.
But that's the thing. That's what's insane. This is Tottenham Hotspurs. This is like, they just were in the final for the Champions League. Like, this is crazy to me. Pochettino should have taken that job at Man United when he had the shot, because he's not going anywhere right now except away from Tottenham. I don't know that any top six club, when I say top six, I mean traditional, not how it's currently sitting, that would necessarily take him right now. This is a rough spot for them, man. That 7-1 and then that 3-0. Brighton Hove is not a good scoring team, and to just capitulate on the pitch, and then you talk about what is it
on the pitch?
What does it mean for next year? All these players, you're not keeping them around.
No, I mean, Alderweireld's gone, Ericsson's gone.
Harry Kane stay?
Harry Kane stays. I mean, the world could freeze over and he's staying in Tottenham. Dele Alli could be gone. He's really off of form. It's not. Yeah, I agree. Poch, I think his head was turned with the United job. I think going from one bad club to the other, United, and we talked about it on this pod last year, and I was not in favor of making the call to put Ole in charge at the 3.5 quarter mark because we won a miraculous game in PSG.
You could have waited to the summer.
Stick to your guns, keep him in the interim spot till the end of the year, and then make that decision. Because he could have got us to the end of the year, possibly into the top 4, and then said, hey, Ole, thank you so much. How about you step up to the technical director of players, and Poch comes in, and you guys work to build this team. If Ole wants to have some young talent, Poch and you can do it. And you have a manager that knows tactics, knows the game, has gotten a team like Tottenham to the Champions League final, has put them consistently in the top 4. I think that would have worked. And I think both clubs are now kind of on the backwash of mistakes, maybe not mistakes, but things that they could have done and would have put teams in, each of them in a little bit better spot now, we think. And they're kind of just turning their wheels, and those wheels are going backwards in the table.
Yeah, and Tottenham's got Watford coming up, who we just talked about, but then they face Liverpool the next weekend. So they're probably going to get smacked around against Liverpool. Well, then they play Everton. They're playing their next couple of matches are the broad or either end of the spectrum of the Premier League. They're going from quite literally playing the worst team in the league this coming weekend to playing the best team in the league the following weekend. Then you play Everton, Sheffield United, and West Ham.
See, that run that you're talking about right there too is, if they can't do well, he's done. Other than the Liverpool, right?
Well, and United could be on the same way, because we have Liverpool on Sunday. So, as crazy as it may seem, by December, Ole could get sacked, Poch could leave, Ole could be named United manager, and I don't
Welcome Jose Mourinho to Tottenham Hotspurs.
Ted Lasso and Jose Mourinho.
Which would be amazing.
And I only want that because the Arsenal fans would melt down. And I mean, it's not possible for them to hate him more. If he became the Spurs coach,
that'd be amazing.
It would just melt down.
That would cap off 2019. If Ole gets sacked, Poch comes to United, and Jose goes back into Tottenham Hotspur. That would be amazing.
Brilliant. What an entertaining year. I must admit completely that I miss having Mourinho in the league.
He is fantastic on the punditry, though. Like his points are spot on. You're like, how did this guy get sacked? He's a smart guy.
Especially after a Man United game where he kind of rips into him a lot.
Well, yeah, but he's not wrong. I mean, what did he say that was wrong in that?
It's not that he didn't say anything wrong. It is the way that he was I'm going to say this in the way that says you are all idiots. And
then when he says, who is he talking? Smalling isn't good in the air. Is that who he's talking about?
Yeah, Smalling isn't good in the air.
He's over in
Smalling. He's like, Smalling isn't good in the air. And right behind him is Smalling missing a point blank header. Just brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's not because Smalling's in Italy now. Was it Lindelof? Maybe he was talking about?
You're right. Lindelof. Yeah.
I mean, I sat on this pod and said, I think Jose got sacked too soon. I mean, I don't know. It's both Tottenham and United are a complete mess. With that said, they're both one's +2 and one's +1, so they're not down there in the negative goal difference, but they're down there in 9th and 12th. They both suck. Let's move on.
Well, I was saying
don't worry. Hey, don't worry. As Ferris always says, it's a long season.
It is.
So it could get much worse.
30 games to get relegated is what's going to happen to Manchester United.
Well, so I'll burn real quick because so Bournemouth, since we're already talking about Man United, so before we skip over them, Bournemouth at 10th, kind of doing what Bournemouth does, still just playing their thing, and a small club hanging into the Premier League better than they ought to. 11th, the Wolves have 10 points, and then Manchester United at 12th with 9.
God, that's a beautiful table right there.
Yeah. The Wolves, man, we all thought they could maybe sneak into top 6, but they've got some tough competition above them. Right now.
Yeah, but they did beat City on the last match week.
That was huge. Now, Ron, we're past the halfway point on the Premier League. Should we try your other beer?
Yeah, we certainly can.
I mean, or we can get all the way to the end of Premier League and then switch.
Let's do the end of the Premier League, and then then we have MLS playoffs and NWSL playoffs.
Gotcha. Well, so
the league is a roundup.
We kind of already talked about Manchester United, unless anyone's got anything else to say.
We can just pass right over them.
Oh God, I'm still here. I got scarves. I got jerseys. I'm a fan. I watch in misery every week.
Well, look, just know that you're helping me out where I'm like a little frustrated being an Arsenal fan, and I get to not be so frustrated because at least I'm not Man United.
You know what'll happen? I'm not even going to say it because it's not going to happen. It's so outlandish. Watch us beat Liverpool on Sunday. Wouldn't that just turn the entire, you would not, I quit soccer if that happens because then I don't know a single thing about anything that happens in the game.
That would melt down the Premier League.
It's not going to happen. But anyways, moving on.
So real quick, then rounding up the next few, we got in 13th Sheffield United.
Yeah, I love the Blades.
Punching above weight, it feels like too. Like I'm not excited about Arsenal playing them. They were a newly promoted club that's always punching above weight. We got Brighton and Hove Albion at 14th with 9 points. They the
Spurs killer.
I was gonna say 3-0 to the Spurs. That's still just crazy. Aston Villa.
Surprising.
Trying to stay fighting to stay in the Premier League this year, 15th place. They got 8 points. It's real tight. The top half and the bottom half, very tight with each other. Newcastle, the Man United killers.
Sitting on the 8s right there.
16th place. What is it? With 8 games played, -8 goal differential, and 8 points.
Chelsea has them coming up.
And Newcastle's not necessarily an easy one by any stretch of the means.
Not a slouch.
Southampton, they roll in at 17th with -7 goal differential and 7 points. And now we've already talked about them a little bit, but Everton in 18th. I don't think anyone would have picked that for week 8. Guys, what if we live in a world where Everton gets relegated?
Along with Man United, wouldn't that be
the highest ratings for the championship
Wayne
league?
Rooney's 2 favorite clubs, and they're down.
You feel like normally I would say no, Everton's going to come out of this, but they're something is wrong over there right now.
Is Marco Silva? Is he the next lined up to get sacked? Is that the next odds on?
Yeah, I would think so.
Probably.
It's a shame. I always enjoy Everton as a club, and they're just man, they're not.
They got to get the striker they brought in over the summer from Juventus, Moise Kean. They got to get him just more involved. They got to find a way to get the ball to him to push him along and to get the ball at his feet to allow something to occur. And I think he can put the ball in the back of the net, and he can do very good for them. But so far, they just haven't figured it out with this kind of hodgepodge of players that they have out there that they just haven't clicked yet. And they got talent, but it's just not working for the Toffees right now.
Click quick, because the clubs above them are all clubs that could beat them. So that's where this, even though it's only 8 games in, that's where their spot right now is dangerous looking to me. The clubs above them, all like clubs that could end higher than they have been playing right now. In 19th, Norwich City, which is weird because they're below Everton, but they are exciting to watch always. Like
the Pookie show.
Pookie, man.
Timo Pookie.
Yeah, I mean, every time, it doesn't matter who's playing Norwich, you're like, they might lose.
Yeah,
and then,
their season's high point probably for the rest of the season is beating Man City 3-2.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they have Bournemouth coming on Saturday.
Another one that Man City.
Oh, yeah. Man City losing. The games that they have lost are mind-blowing to me.
Head scratchers.
And then last but not least, well, maybe they are least, we've got Radio Watford at 20th. Negative 16 goal differential. 3 points.
That's
not
rough.
good.
Are those 3 points all in draws, or is that one victory?
Hold on, I'll check.
I feel like maybe they've won one.
I feel like they're all draws, but I don't know.
It's been for the bees, who have a moose as a symbol. So because the bee, like the Hornets are like their symbol. So I had a friend of mine on Facebook who's like into Premier League, and he's like said his daughter was now going to pick a team, and she picked Watford because their symbol is a moose, but they're the bees. like she was listing all the things about them that were so weird that she wanted that to be her club.
Right.
I was like, okay,
that's one way of doing it.
All of them are from draws.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Arsenal, Newcastle, Sheffield United.
So this weekend we get back to Premier League. It's probably your Chelsea Newcastle. That should actually be a pretty fun match. Tottenham and Watford are fun in the sense of if they screw that up, Spurs look real bad.
Norwich and Bournemouth.
Hey, look, Crystal Palace, Man City. Crystal Palace was the ones that drew Man City last year and shouldn't have.
Yeah,
and they are definitely better than they were last year. Man U and Liverpool.
God, I'm so sad.
I almost want to go out and see that game with like a friend or.
We're going to. I have my soccer game at 9 a.m. on Sunday, and Mr. Jared King will be in town, and we are going to head to the Crooked Can to watch that game. If you want to join,
stay in touch. That might be a possibility.
It's a 11:30 game on the Eastern,
and then Monday Sheffield United against the Arsenal.
That should be a fun match.
I actually think that will be a fun match. Yeah, that should be pretty fun. But Premier League, it's weird. It's
interesting so far.
Yeah, this is fun. So nothing
it's
panning
quite
out.
a roller coaster season, and this is why it's kind of why being a pundit for this league is kind of like being a weatherman, right? Because you make all these predictions, and then you get 8 games in, and it's all gone to shit.
Yeah, right.
Everything you thought was going to be isn't.
And it went big time, like very, very fast. It was very clear that this was not going to be a normal year by any stretch of the means. Well, this brings us over to a little MLS playoff talk. Should we do the next beer before we roll into that?
Let's.
Sounds like a plan. My other beer for the night is, it's also a bit of a theme because I live in China, and do you know what is in China that is in pretty much, what animal is in China that's pretty much nowhere else?
But an animal that's in China that's nowhere else?
Mm-hmm.
Panda?
Panda?
Look at you, pandas.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. I wasn't too sure on that one.
So this is a Canadian beer, since Canada whooped our ass. But it's got pandas in it because of this. Well, I'll get to that.
Wait,
in a
it
second.
has pandas in it? What the hell?
It's there's pandas all over this can.
Oh, okay. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So this is a beer from a brewery we've already had. Do you remember the brewery Flying Monkeys?
I remember the triple chocolate brownie fudge beer that we had.
Yes.
One of the flippin' best chocolate stouts ever.
Yes, I do.
Yep. So this is from the exact same brewery in Ontario, Canada. And the name of the beer is the Killer Cupcake Panda Beer.
I was going to say, as I look over there and see the reindeer vanilla unicorn thing that you brought in.
I was looking more at the hopefully this is better than Captain Lawrence's Cookie Puss birthday beer.
Oh, this, I promise you, will be better. This is a double IPA, 8.3 ABV, which is awesome. And the can is essentially got all these pandas all over it. You got to see it to really understand it. Go check out their website.
Ron, did you read their address on the side of the can?
Oh, yeah. I was getting to that.
That's
Sorry.
great.
Remember this brewery? We've talked about them before, but just a quick recap. There's a bunch of people that got together and they were all brewing their own beers as home brewers in their dorm rooms and garages, basements, whatever, just so that they could, drink beer on the cheap. And slowly they all just kind of put their skills together and, honed their talents, and poof, out comes one of the best breweries in Ontario, Canada. The can on this reads a luscious and crushes beer. This double IPA is a killer. Dosed with exotic pandan leaves, citrus custard, and vanilla cupcake aromas animate this marigold haze of a bouncy double IPA with an edgy cut of bitterness on the finish. Cute but vicious, just like the panda.
That's awesome.
Doesn't that sound like fun?
And then, as Blake was saying, their address is a science nerd's complete love. Their address is 107 Dunlop Street in Barrie, Ontario, Canada, on Earth in the Milky Way, the universe, infinity.
I just love that.
And if you ever get the chance, you must visit the brewery, because if you look at this can and see how wildly frenetic it is, yet all of the artwork makes sense and it's really interesting. Their tap room and brewery is exactly like that. And everything they make comes out of that brewery. They don't have a contract brewery or an off-site location. It's all brewed right in that building.
When I lived up there in 2004 up in Hamilton, craft beer just wasn't a big thing in Canada. It's so different now. You kind of had Unibrew. That was one of the only ones.
Yeah.
This can is awesome.
So one other quick thing. So this is also brewed with pandan leaves, as I read in the description.
That's cool.
It's a tropical plant, right? Which is commonly used in South Asia and Southeast Asian cooking as a flavor. And actually, we from time to time here in Beijing, you can find this in various restaurants, and it's quite good. When it's done well, it's quite good. When it's not done well, it's a bit bitter. But pandan leaves, all right by me.
All right by me. Let's give this a try. Let's crack it open.
You ready to do this? Oh my goodness, that smells good. Holy cow, that smells really good.
I saw at the San Diego Zoo back in July, I saw a lovely red panda, which is quite cool. Looks more like a
Like a fox
raccoon
almost
or a
looking,
fox. Yeah.
Yeah, with the tail the way it is
Yeah.
and its ring.
It looks like something from Super Mario 3.
Yeah. I love pandas. This beer look good old double IPA with some panda tropical leaves. This is bamboo or whatever.
Dude, wait till you smell this.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks, dude.
And so I've had it.
Dude, the aroma.
It smells like heaven.
I've had it because I had it there at the brewery on tap. Just wait till you taste it. It's incredible.
All right.
Shall we?
Okay.
Yes, we shall.
Here we go. Smells good.
All
Cheers.
Right. Cilantro.
Cheers.
Whoa, it tastes like a cupcake.
Interesting.
But like,
Oh my god, I forgot it was cupcake.
Where the Cookie Puss was a gross vanilla ice cream, weird flavor
This
with the IPA. This is good.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's
I
just
forgot the
enough.
cupcake in this. Yeah.
It's just enough. There's a little hint of the vanilla that's on there.
Yeah.
It kind of instead of being like an IPA where you have a higher malt content to balance it out, it's like the vanilla and stuff balances it out. The aftertaste is crazy.
The weird thing is when they say that it has citrus, custard, and vanilla cupcake aromas, they're 100% right.
It has every one of those things.
Oh yeah.
In both its smell and its flavor, like it's kind of crazy.
And was the Cookie Puss, was that a double IPA too?
No, that was a
think it was.
cupcake. A milk
IPA.
That was wasn't it a cupcake IPA?
Hold on.
What was that? Milkshake.
No. It was a
Milkshake
cupcake IPA.
IPA.
Oh, milkshake. That's right.
Milkshake IPA.
It was terrible. That's what it was.
This is the complete opposite of that.
Yeah, this is really, really good.
You guys are all wrong. It was a birthday beer.
It was a birthday beer.
That's hysterical.
All right. Are you trying to get another picture?
Yeah, we're failing at this here, Blake.
Yeah, I know. Ron's so good at the pictures.
And he does it he just does it, quietly. We try to make a thing of it. The thing keeps freaking rolling. How do you get this thing stop rolling?
Okay, there. Quick, take it now.
Quick, take it now.
But also, before we move on, Ron sent us a present. We got...
Stop rolling.
We got... Watching him try to take this is like a Charlie Chaplin comedy special. We've got some Flying Monkey t-shirts that were delivered as well.
Yeah, cool, man. Thanks, Ron.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I couldn't not.
Yeah, these are great. What a cool brewery.
Yeah, and like I said, if you get the chance, you should go. It's super interesting on the inside. They have their menu is on TVs everywhere. They're super dog friendly. And it's just the brewery's just got so much fun people. There's so much fun stuff to look at. It's right near the water. It's such a nice location.
Oh, and don't forget, Ron, send us your pictures from China where we take all these.
Oh, he did. And it
looks
like
good.
A professional photo. Mine looks like I took it with a old, what are the old snap? The snap and you turn in the same day and get it developed.
That one?
Yeah, exactly.
So this moves us over to the MLS, the road to the MLS Cup. The playoff teams are here. We actually have brackets to fill out.
I'm excited for this. I really am. I think the playoff, the way that the MLS has restructured the
You mean that
playoffs,
we can fill out a bracket like a normal?
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Not a home and away and then goal difference in the first round, but it's not in the second round, but it could be in the third
I'm so
round.
excited.
And then you're playing, but you could play a third game because of the speculations of the second game in the first round. You're like, what are you talking about?
I love that we're excited that we're excited and happy about MLS is them doing something normal.
Yes, makes sense.
So
Stick with what we know as Americans. Brackets. We all love a good bracket.
So real quick over on the West, with a bye into the conference semifinals, we've got LA Galaxy. Then we've got in round one
with the bye, you have
in the quarter. That's what I'm saying. They have a bye, so they're in the
LAFC.
LAFC. Thank you for clarifying. All these LA teams. What are we? The NFL?
San Diego Chargers are in LA now, right? Like, yes, they are the LA Chargers.
They are the San Diego LA Chargers.
Right.
We need one more California team.
Yeah, one more in LA. But then in the round one, we've got Minnesota United. Inchy, the guy who opened up everything with Orlando City, is now into the playoffs with a team that was not good last year, quicker than Orlando City.
Glad somebody's winning.
Minnesota United. Kind of pulling for Inchy on this one.
Well, and what's cool about this is if the Galaxy win, we could have an LA derby. Well, I don't remember what exactly that derby's called, but in the conference semis.
Yes, because Minnesota, they'll be playing their first game against the LA Galaxy, so tough matchup. Then we've got Real Salt Lake versus Portland. And then to finish out round one, we have got Seattle FC versus FC Dallas.
And Portland sneaking in there, but have played very well down the last few games here. And who knows, they could cause a little bit of waves, and you could see them back in the at least the conference finals for sure.
Over on the East, in already in the conference semifinals with a bye, we've got NYC FC. Boy, would MLS be really happy with an LAFC and NYC FC final.
What the hell is this one called? Hudson River.
Hudson River Derby.
They so round one is going to be Toronto. I almost said Tottenham. Toronto versus DC United. Wayne Rooney's own DC United. Then we've got Philadelphia Union versus the Red Bulls. Then to round it out, we've got Atlanta United versus the New England Revolution. And that's your playoffs the way they're lined up right now.
Some very tasty matches here.
Yeah.
And I guess we kind of talk through it as we go through our bracket. So who wants to go first?
I mean, Ron, you're calling in. What do you want? Pick them. You want to go first? What do you want?
Sure. Am I doing my entire bracket or just?
Yes. Right.
Well, hold on. Well, why don't we go start from left to right as we read and pick the West first? So just the first round, who's going to the conference semis of the West?
Gotcha.
I think we are going to have an LA derby in the conference semis. So I think the Galaxy beat the Loons. I think the Portland Timbers beat the Real Salt Lake. And then I'm going to go with an FC Dallas win over Seattle.
I like it. Not a bad pick there, though. Not a bad pick. All right, Blake, you up.
All right. I'm going to say Orlando melts down because the Loons beat LA Galaxy and go to the conference semifinals. If it wasn't Inchy coaching them, but I just got a feeling that the MLS has got more salt to rub into the wound of the travesty that is Orlando City right now. So I'm going to say
that's a vivid image.
Despite what happens, the Loons, they press through to face LAFC. Man, blah, blah, blah.
LAFC.
Yeah.
Real quick. Did everybody keep their season tickets for Orlando City?
I did, yes.
I did not. A little less to do with the team and more just like out of family time and financials at the moment.
Gotcha. Okay, just curious.
But I did keep my pride.
Ron, did you?
I did, mostly because I didn't check my email for about 6 days, and that window came and went. I was going to keep them. And knew that it was on.
But you were thinking about it. That's the thing.
I thought about it very strong this year. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it's not about plastic fan. There are times.
Is the dollars associated with it worth?
Well, I was going to say there are times you can support a club that is just playing terrible, but you still have a lot of fun. The atmosphere, the family that's been created, and you show up anyway.
Well,
but that is something is off right now in Orlando, and it's it could be its own.
And it by no means makes you any less of a fan if you don't have a season ticket. And I don't fault anybody that has dropped their season tickets. You're still 100% fan. for me personally, I love this game so much, and I want to support our local teams. Both City and the Pride were god awful this year, and we sat through some very, very poor games.
You know
I
what?
walked away from that stadium mad a bunch, but
I kept my Pride tickets though because I had more fun at those games.
well, yeah, same.
Yeah.
But like bad times, good times. I gotta stick with your team, your club.
That front office.
We had a friend on I can't remember who it is, but we had a friend on Facebook like, hey, I think I'm gonna hop teams.
Jared.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I couldn't remember who it was.
He ended up staying with
Orlando.
Yes,
because he moved to Atlanta.
he did. Yeah.
And, it just means that Orlando, though, they've got to pick up or they're going to become the Magic. If they don't look like they're trying to move forward, they're going to be the Magic.
Well, and we'll get to them here in a bit because there was some other news around the club. But let's get through the
so I said Minnesota for
Sorry,
Real
I totally derailed us.
It's okay. We're gonna get to that. For Real Salt Lake and Portland, Portland's had a good run, but I'm gonna go Real Salt Lake. Let's get some new people up in here, and then I think Seattle over FC Dallas.
Seattle. I'll go
Completely opposite of me.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go fairly similar to Ron. I'll go Galaxy, Timbers, but I will go Sounders. They usually do really well in the playoffs, and I want to see that Sounders-Timbers match. So, off to the East. Mr. Ron, back to you.
Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm going to go Toronto over DC United. I'm going to go Philly over the Red Bulls. And I'm going to say Atlanta puts it past the Revolution.
Okay. Mr. Blake.
I'm close, but not quite. I'm going to say DC United over Toronto, the Red Bulls over Philly, and Atlanta over New England.
That's not close. That's 2/3 different.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Damn it. Okay, I don't even know if this is close, far away, semi-similar. I don't know. I will go with DC United and Wayne Rooney's last stand at a United club before hopping off across the pond to Derby County.
I'd like to see Wayne Rooney go all the way.
Yeah, why the hell not? Then I will go the Philadelphia Union. I picked that very hesitantly, because
I left you alone about Christian Pulisic.
yes, you did. Did I even say his name?
You said it wrong.
No, of course I did. Welcome back to the pod, ladies and gentlemen. Philly started off and they had a fantastic year, and then they really just shit the bed towards the last half of the year. So I pick them. I think they'll get past the Red Bulls, who really they've kind of been there for me this year. And then I think the Revolution.
Oh my Lord!
Will cause a revolution in the MLS and upset Atlanta United. I honestly think this is not as big of an upset as people may have it be.
The problem is this is Atlanta versus New England. That's two places that I don't care. I don't want to pick either one of them.
But who's behind the helm there at New England?
Veteran. Gosh, I saw the guy live at BlazerCon. His name's drawing a blank.
Same here.
Went to a conference. Oh my Lord. Oh my God.
I want to say Sam Allardyce, but he's like the American version of a Sam Allardyce. What the hell is...
Are you guys serious?
We have taken too much...
It's Bruce Arena.
Bruce Arena.
Thank you.
I was going to say Steve Bruce. That's all right. 9 a.m. beers.
He's coached... That guy's coached every team in the league.
Yeah, but he has New England in the playoffs.
Hey, look, and at this rate, he might be back coaching the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, who the hell knows?
Yeah, true.
Like
True
Bruce
story.
Arena's New England take out the villains of Atlanta. All right, moving on. God almighty.
Next year, Bruce Arena will be in Orlando.
Man, no, we're getting real. Real Madrid's
We'll
old
get there.
coach.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we'll do kind of a quick fire here till the end. I'll read out the two teams. Ron, you just tell me which team, Galaxy or LAFC?
LAFC.
LAFC. Then you have the Timbers and FC Dallas.
Dallas.
Woo! Tasty. Trying to put this all so I take it down and note it for later. All right, Blake, you have the Loons in LAFC.
LAFC.
LAFC. Then you have Real Salt Lake and Seattle.
Real Salt Lake.
Yeah, you got them going quite a bit of a ways there.
Yeah.
I will have an upset for the ages. I will have Zlatan and the Galaxy advancing through against the team that has had one of the best, I think the best season in MLS history in the LAFC. And then I will have the Timbers going through. They seem to just always do well in the playoffs. Moving over to the East. Ron, you got Toronto. Oh, I'm sorry. You have Toronto playing NYCFC.
Nothing makes me happier than an NYCFC loss, so Toronto.
I like it. Going all Canada today on the pod. Then you have Philly and Atlanta.
I'm going to upset with Philly.
Yeah, I like it. Union. Mr. Blake, you have DC United and NYCFC.
DC United's Wayne Rooney.
I love it. Yes, sir. Thank you, Blake. And then you have Red Bulls and Hotlanta.
I think Red Bulls beat Hotlanta.
Okay, you have some interesting choices there on your side of the old bracket.
I'm going with gut.
I like it. I got DC United and NYCFC. I, of course, am going to go with DC United. Then I have Philly and New England. I think New England get through again.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they could be on for a little bit of a run here. Okay, Ron. In the conference finals, the Western Conference finals to be more specific, you have LAFC and FC Dallas.
LAFC caps their amazing season with a win over Dallas.
Okay, and then let's skip real quick over to the East for you, and you will have Toronto and Philly.
I'm going to say Philly.
Ooh, little LAFC and Philly battle. I like it. Okay, Mr. Blake. LAFC or Real Salt Lake?
The Cinderella story is over and LAFC wins this one.
Okay. And then you have DC United and the Red Bulls in the East.
DC United.
LAFC and DC United. The league would love to have that.
That would also be good.
Yeah. I have... I will go with the Galaxy and DC United. Again, the league would love to see that.
Yeah.
All right, Rom. The finals of the 2019 MLS Cup, newly styled bracket playoff format where we get done with this in 6 weeks or however the hell long. You have LAFC and the Philadelphia Union. Who do you got?
Wait, when do the away goals count again?
I don't think they do in this round. I'm not 100% positive, but I don't think they do.
I'm going to say, even though it's predictable, I'm going to say LAFC.
All right. Yeah, the odds on at the moment. Mr. Blake, you have LAFC and Wayne Rooney's DC United.
I'm going to go with DC United.
Okay.
An upset over one of the best teams in the league. I think DC United comes in. Does the thing. That's given there's no weird away goal situation or that allocation money is not taken into account when it comes to victories.
It's the TAM money we have to be more concerned about.
That is true.
Whatever the hell the TAM money is.
Come on, I explained that clear as day to that post to our listeners.
We have explained it a couple times and I still don't understand.
You're absolutely right. I still don't know. All right, I have Galaxy and DC United, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic says goodbye to the MLS with a thrilling, I did not get the golden boot, but I still led the team all the way with nobody else but a bunch of Fiats. I win.
With a bunch of Fiat.
Right? Isn't that what it was? Was it Porsches and he's a Fiat? Or no, he's a Porsche and they're Fiats or something to that extent.
God.
I don't know. But the Galaxy and Zlatan gets a second statue made of him outside of the Galaxy StubHub Center. Because the first one with him topless was brilliant. They should go full nude in LAFC for the next statue. You heard it here.
Full nude Zlatan. Someone should have sent a poet. It's so beautiful.
Oh, should we bring
People
this
will be
pod?
painting it. People will be painting it for centuries. Like it's what is the name of that? What is the name of that? The David.
The David, yeah,
the
Michelangelo
David
statue.
statue.
What were you going to say?
Should we bring this pod down a little Orlando City talk?
Well, I mean, we've kind of already hit a little bit on it. I mean, Orlando City, they fired their head coach, James O'Connor. They brought in a new, it was really not a new technical director. Who they had?
It's essentially like a GM, and they brought him in last summer. So this was not his guy.
But this is what's crazy. They brought in a new coach, then a new GM.
Well, if you remember, O'Connor got the nod midway through last season.
Yes.
The GM, which we needed, was brought in the summer. Now, from the interviews and reports that we're seeing, the GM, this was anytime a GM comes in sports, it is usually they want their own people in, right? And that makes sense to me. The GM came in, him and O'Connor talked, and he liked what O'Connor was doing, and the goal was from the interviews and reports that we're seeing, the goal was for Orlando City to make the playoffs. And the GM came out and said, playoffs, that our goal was not met, so that's why he's sacked. I understand that to an extent. I do. Despite it being we're now going to go on our fourth coach in 6 years.
That is crazy. Right. Season and a half for each coach.
I do get the thought of a GM coming in, wanting his own guy, allowing the guy that was there time and setting a goal. That goal was not met. So if what happens at your job if a goal is not met? You may not be sacked, but you're going to get some sort of discipline. Well, in sports, it's a little bit different. So he got sacked. And you can't really argue. Yes, our defense was much, much, much better this year, but second off the bottom in the East, we did not make the playoffs when we had a chance to. We were right there in it up until the last 2 weeks. We did not meet our goal, so I'm okay with it. Now, who's going to come in next? That is key. And whoever the new GM, and I don't remember his name, Nico something rather, I don't remember, but...
Well, the big rumor is the dude from Real Madrid that got fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's where I don't agree. I don't agree because this is the same pattern that we have had since the first time we fired a manager.
Yeah, if it
None
wasn't
of this is different.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I agree.
I know.
So I don't necessarily agree with. Well, first we were all questioning and scratching our heads when O'Connor was appointed in the first place. But I would, if we had one coach all this time or two coaches all this time, but this tells me that there are front office problems that are bigger than what is being really talked about in the press or with the fans or anything like that.
Who's going to come in and say, okay, great. You mean to come in next year and get you into the playoffs? What team have you given to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I sign up to be on this team only to get canned in a season?
Right. So that's where it is. That's where it is, Blake, right? Why would you decide every coach they've ever had gets canned after a year and a half? So why would you take this job?
Clearly there's problems.
There's no reason to, because if you're not considered a success, then you're gone. Whether it was your team, no matter what the circumstances were, you're gone.
And they gave Inchy 3 years at Minnesota United, and he's in the playoffs. And granted, when he started at Minnesota United, we went, well, see, this is the problem he had at Orlando. No defense, but in 3 seasons, he got to the playoffs. And we're not giving these guys any time to make a team that's there. In a year and a half, that's not your club yet. That's not your guys. That's not. There's a lot of work that's got to be done. I think, unfortunately, a lot of it is completely out of the hands of those that are going to be brought in, like coaches or players.
I think the mirror should be shined at the front office. And Absolutely. I'm not saying that they have to fire anybody, but what I think they have to do is they have to look at how they do business and clearly what the approach to the team when it comes to hiring coaches, hiring coaching staff, hiring players, none of that is working. So stop doing the same thing that you have been doing for the past 4 seasons because we already know that it's not working. Figure out something new because you're not cutting it. And all you're doing is whittling down your fan base and alienating every coach who wants to make something.
You need to bring in a name, like the way that Atlanta brought in Tito Martinez. Like, you need to bring in someone that you go, you are great, you're a good coach. Whatever happens next season happens because that's not fully your team. We're committing to you. We're like Jurgen Klopp when he got to Liverpool's. And I didn't realize we're talking about that's apples to oranges. But he said, give me 3 years, and the first, year they could score, but they couldn't defend. And now look at them. You're going to have to bring in someone, whether it is this dude, the guy, I forget his name, that got canned from Real Madrid. He wasn't there very long. But if you're going to give it to someone, you got to give it to someone you feel like, I don't, like a Bruce Arena type, right? We joked about that. I wouldn't want that. I want someone that's going to come in and the idea is we got to give this person 3 years and this new GM 3 years, to build a team. And that sucks to say because that's 3 more years that we got to build. I don't know that this club makes it into the playoffs next year, no matter who their coach is.
I don't know. I don't disagree with a lot of what you guys are saying. I don't. I'm always going to try to. I'm always going to be that glass half full person, though. And
hey, I was glass half full. I said don't fire anybody.
Well,
I just said re-examine your business model.
I'm trying to go with a somewhat of a positive outlook on this because again, I don't disagree with a lot of what you guys are saying. I mean that's the frustrating part, and that's what's been in our minds as to why all 3 of us have probably thought about, and Blake has, and some other friends we know have dropped their season tickets because we're now into insanity mode. We're just doing the same things over and over again.
Yeah, the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to hold on to is that the director of soccer operations, I believe, is the official title. No, executive vice president of soccer operations, Louis Muzi, was brought in with somewhat of a plan. I think he was the Dynamo before or something. He was brought in and he was kind of handed the reins. It very much seemed to me like he was the one that sacked O'Connor. And the explanation was something that I don't think we really have gotten in the past. I did like that there was a very clear, we had this goal, he did not meet that goal. I think that is very simplistic, and I'm going to follow that for
but
now.
Isn't that why every coach gets fired? They didn't meet the goals.
Well, no, I think... I mean, we're going to go, but like Jason Christ, he got handed the boot way too early. But if that was your main goal, and what this new executive vice president soccer came in and sat with the head coach, who was not his guy, and said, and that goal was not met, okay, I can at least understand that. So now let's see what happens. And again, I'm trying to look at this in a very positive light. It is very frustrating to be now on our 4th manager in 6 years. So I can only hope for the best because we've hit rock bottom. And hopefully all we can do is go up.
What's amazing is our average ticket attendance was pretty good still.
Yeah, I think we were in the top 15, 10, or something 10, like that. Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Let's talk about a more exciting league, though.
Let's talk about the NWSL and their playoffs.
Oh, playoffs.
They're going to be on ESPN, too.
Yeah, starting on 20th. What is that? Sunday, Saturday? Sunday.
which is awesome.
Very cool. Got North Carolina Courage playing the away team, Rain FC. Good luck to Rain FC. Whew, North Carolina Courage
They look great.
Wow.
Absolutely vicious.
Vicious. And then over on the east side, you got Chicago Red Stars against the away team, Portland Timbers. That away?
Thorns.
The Thorns, sorry.
By the way, Portland Thorns, for the top 10 attendance this year in soccer in America, they came in like number 9 or 10.
That's awesome.
Which is awesome.
The Portland Thorns. That should be a good game. The Red Stars and the Thorns.
It should be, yeah.
I don't know that the Rain can hold off the Courage.
Not away. I don't know if they can.
Are we picking brackets?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm definitely down with the Red Stars and Thorns. I think that's going to be a great game.
Cool. Let's start with Blake. Who you got advancing in the East? Who you got advancing in the West? Or no, not East West. Just
I'm going to go with the Courage, and I'm going to go with. Man, the Thorns have been in there. I'm going to go with the Red Stars.
Somebody new in there.
A little different.
Somebody new in there. All right, Mr. Ron.
I'm going to go the same. Carolina and Chicago.
Well, I don't want to make this a boring pod, so I'm going to change it up just slightly. I will go with the Courage and Thorns once again playing for the NWSL
But I'm
championship.
definitely going with Courage taking it all.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet there.
Yeah.
Ron?
Yep, same. Carolina Courage. With which, if they do win, they will have a home win because the NWSL championship is in Cary, North Carolina.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, it's in North Carolina this year?
Yeah.
Dang it. It's at a terrible time for me to get away. I could have gone back and visit the family and gone to that game.
I mean, two games at home for the Courage. They really should win this entire thing. But my great love for the Great Haran is going to overpower me here, and I'm calling for an upset by the Thorns in North Carolina. Should be fun to watch, though. Should be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah,
This beer is great.
Yeah, it is.
We are in a new era in U.S. Women's National Team because Jill Ellis will be officially stepping down if she hasn't already.
Yeah, her last game was a week or two ago.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what's ahead for the U.S. Women's National Team. An interesting article was out in ESPN the other day that was talking about Carly Lloyd and her reduced role in the Women's World Cup. Very interesting read. Go check it out. Form your own opinions there. There's a lot of Jill Ellis haters. There's a lot of Jill Ellis lovers. I'm somewhere in the middle on that. But really interesting article. So go check that out.
Well, and then you've got the Olympics right around the corner.
Yep.
2020, Tokyo.
And I think we failed to say it, but wasn't Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, was it Kate Margraf? Wasn't she brought in to U.S. Soccer to be a technical director? Is that right? For
I think you are correct.
U.S. women's team?
Yeah, I think so.
She's
the GM.
Something to that extent, yeah.
Yeah, she's the GM of the U.S. Women's National Team.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah. So that's very cool. So
Yep.
hopefully see what her hire is and who they bring in to lead what is this just titan of a ship that Jill Ellis. I mean, we have to be very thankful of what she's done because it's been phenomenal.
Yeah, you can hate all you want, but still the proof's in the pudding.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the question for you. Do you think Jill Ellis left the U.S. Women's National Team better or worse than she found it?
Oh, better.
Better. I think the youth and what's coming along as we start to fade out some of our favorites like their Pinots and stuff that we've loved. I think, the Rose Lavelles and stuff that are coming along.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're in a good spot.
I agree with you.
I will say this. People may look back and go, no, we didn't win the next World Cup, whatever. But I think that's going to have less to do with us and more the rest of the world getting better.
Yes, 100%.
And we saw it.
Agreed.
England,
100%, yeah.
phenomenal. So the rest of the world, because of the U.S.,
Spain,
yeah, exactly.
man, they have stepped up. I think the Olympics could be interesting this coming summer. Yeah. So I if the ladies don't do it, I think they should have a good run. But if they don't do it in the Olympics, I think a lot of it's the rest of the world is getting better.
Yeah, and she left on a note that everybody in sports wants to leave on, the high note. She won the ultimate, the ultimate tournament in her, and in that sport, and she did so with a fantastic team that went up against the stiffest competition that they've ever had in the World Cup, because exactly what you're saying, Blake, the rest of the world is starting to catch up. So yeah, I agree. If we don't do these things, it is not going to be from necessarily the quality of players that we have on our team or where the team is going, but more so the rest of the team they're coming for us.
Yep.
Yes, and which is fantastic. It's only
we're the Titans on the hill, and everybody wants to take us down.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah.
So just a small little thing for you gentlemen. I live in Beijing, China, which is only a 2.5 hour flight to Tokyo this summer. So you should come visit, and then we'll go watch soccer in Tokyo.
Oh my God, that sounds so amazing. I mean, you know me, I freaking loved living in Japan. I've
never been. Wow.
And you are out of your freaking mind if you think that I'm going to stay in Beijing while the Olympics are happening 2 hours away.
Can't wait to see the opening ceremonies for Tokyo. You know it's going to be awesome. Wow.
Yeah. So get your asses over here.
That is worth the plan.
Just saying, we can pod from the Olympics.
Oh my God.
That would be cool.
Sir, can you tell us about this? Oh, this is all podcast equipment. The TSA. That's what this is.
Oh, for what podcast? Oh,
the Brewtiful Game. Are these
not
beers?
The Mike Rome show or the Jim Rome show, I should say. Not
it's the Brewtiful Game.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
That's why
game.
There's also this beer that's
exactly.
Wrapped up in bubble wrap around everything. Sir, are you trying to claim 50 beers on the way back into the U.S.?
Yes, sir, I am.
It's for promotional purposes.
They don't check.
No.
The La Liga's roundup, real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Get through this about the other leagues in the rest of the world. So after 7 match weeks, one of Ferris's favorite teams to say, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
I can't do it again.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
God, you can't say Pulisic.
No, you're absolutely right. Tops the Bundesliga, while the other Borussia, the Dortmund, sit in 8th after a string of draws with a loss sprinkled into away to New Boys FC Union Berlin. Also prior to the break, Bayern started to creep back up the table before suffering a shock loss at home to 12th place Hoffenheim. So they sit behind Wolfsburg, who are in 2nd, with the attacking RB Leipzig on their heels in 4th.
Gareth Bale hasn't left Madrid yet.
He has not. He is still there. Because believe it or not, Real Madrid are in 1st after 8 games, partly on the back of the superb play thus far from Mr. Bale.
Just when you thought he's probably done, there he is.
He's still there, despite Zidane wanting him out so bad. Which I think he sat out the Champions League game and was not quite happy. So the whole moving away thing has sparked back up. I think you're going to hear that all year until he actually moves or stays or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't worry though, Barca fans, they are closely following in 2nd, and Messi has only played 3 games for the Catalonian side thus far, with Atleti Granada, Real Sociedad, and Sevilla rounding out the top 6 in La Liga. Moving over to Ligue 1, which we have not talked about yet, because I don't believe they kicked off yet, but the villain of Paris Saint-Germain, Neymar, stays put at the club, and despite every home game now feeling like an away game courtesy of the fans, Neymar is tearing it up with 4 goals in 5, helping to secure the Paris club at the top of the table after 9 games played. Nantes, Agers, Bordeaux will try to keep pace and keep the gap close, but if PSG continue winning, it will be a tall task to overtake them. PSG are just—they're
fantastic.
Yeah, they can spend more, they can do more than any team.
But you did neglect to say that Neymar just rolls into every stadium down the
That
tunnel.
just happened. Yeah.
The what? That he rolled into what?
That's how he gets onto the stadium. He just rolls in.
Yeah. I thought you were saying he just rolled his ankle, so he'll be out for like 4 to 6 weeks. But rolling is just a part of Neymar's
That's what
DNA.
he does.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's the boy who cried wolf.
Yes.
It's the Neymar who cried wolf.
Yeah. So some of his goals thus far for PSG has been absolutely fantastic.
Pretty spectacular.
And goals and 3 points tend to turn fans' minds, so it may not be too long before they're now screaming his name.
Roll all you want as long as you keep scoring.
Exactly. Serie A is now fully underway, and after 7 games played, surprise, Juventus are atop of the Italian table.
CR7,
yes, indeed. Well, big money new boy Matthijs de Ligt has had he's off to a bit of a shaky start next to defensive partner Giorgio Chiellini. Ronaldo wastes no time in leading the club with 3 goals in 6 games. So he has not quite played all the games, but he is the wonderful Ronaldo who actually just scored his 700th club goal.
Say 700
this past week for Portugal, and he's the only active player currently out there that has done that for a club or country.
Insane.
Yeah, very, very cool.
So does that end the argument he's better than Messi?
We've talked about in my mind, yeah, because of what he's done for his country as well, with far less talent than what Messi has had surrounding him in Argentina. Ronaldo won the Euros.
Yeah.
Euros.
Don't say it like that. It's gross.
Okay.
Well, Messi has had the full blown crying fit that
he quit Argentina, right? Didn't he?
Oh God, who was the NFL quarterback from Green Bay that cried when he retired?
Oh,
Favre?
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre. Yes.
Favre. Fava beans. Inter are off to a good start as well with some new boys, Romelu Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez, feeling it at home in the black and blue of the Milan club. Unfortunately, Sanchez will be out for a little bit with an injury picked up during the break, but
is
Lukaku
it crazy?
is scoring away.
And there's a bit of debate whether or not Sanchez is actually doing well. He played a couple games and then Conte sat him.
Is that a straight up loan or
it's a loan? So
it's a loan.
We can have him right back there playing for Pochettino next year at United. I honestly think just Sanchez just fell out of love with the game. I mean,
he fell in love with those dogs. Fell out of love with
why
game.
not? Those dogs are beautiful. Atalanta, Napoli, Roma, and Lazio are all in the mix, sitting 3 through 6 in the table respectively, while the news on Sunday before the break was that Mario Balotelli scored his first goal for Brescia in a loss following not only his return to Italy, but also after his daughter accompanied the rival team to the pitch pregame as one of the mascots. How cool is that? They lost 2-1, but
but that's so fun.
Yeah, it's still fun. And the one of the villains of the game, Balotelli, returning to not his hometown club because he did not play there up until this, but I believe he's from that area. So very cool. And that is your La Liga's roundup.
Boom. Which I think wraps us up for our soccer talk.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yep.
We did it, guys. We tried to do it Sunday and that fell apart. We made it happen on a Wednesday.
Wednesday morning and evening. That's
not, yeah. Hey,
whenever it happens.
Exactly.
Hey, my nights are about to get a lot more free, so that's about to change things.
Yeah.
Wednesday morning, though, not too bad.
That means I'll be day drinking.
Exactly.
Attaboy.
Hey, man. Well, these were 2 delicious beers to have from Flying Monkey and from, where was Iceberg? Quidi Vidi Brewery?
Quidi Vidi.
I'll never forget that. Yeah. Quidi Vidi.
Great.
Let's see.
What a delicious set of beers.
Oh, these beers are freaking.
And thank you for the shirt. And I want to point out the paper bag wrapping on the shirt has a lovely saying. I went to Flying Monkey's Craft Brewery and all I got was this awesome shirt.
Mine says, tested on flying monkeys. It didn't fit. Washed when dirty.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you've got to take some time and go up there and check that place out.
Like
100% cool. This is
what
awesome.
A fun place.
Thank you, sir.
Lee, thanks again for the scarf exchange with Darlington FC. So friggin' cool. If you want to give us a follow on the Untapped to see what Ron is drinking across the world, it's pretty awesome. Actually, all the Chinese beers check-ins we've had. I think we're going to
by the way,
own that.
By the way, so I'm going to hit the mother load in beer this weekend in China. So we have the 8x8 beer festival that's coming on this Saturday. I'll be there from 12 to 3, and we're going to sample 8 Chinese beers and 8 Northeast U.S. beers. So they've done this kind of a collaboration. They brought 8 breweries from the Northeastern United States up to be in the show with 8 craft breweries from here in Beijing, which that's going to be a ton of fun.
That's cool.
And then
That's wicked.
Oktoberfest on Sunday at the Polliner Brewhaus.
Oh,
nice.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, the Hollerback restaurant did their a German restaurant here locally in Sanford, Florida. They awesome place. They did their Oktoberfest last weekend. I was so jealous. I wanted to go, but I was working.
There is a bit of a spoiler alert. I might be in Lederhosen.
You're going to be in Lederhosen?
Pictures, please.
Then we are going to need pictures and video blog, please. We're going to need
Yes.
We're going to need that.
It's going to be so fun.
Without
I can't wait.
Friggin' doubt. That's awesome. Well, clearly follow us on Untapped to see all the stuff that Ron is going to be
And
trying.
the social medias of Ron's in later.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah, Ron and Lederhosen.
Don't you worry.
That's our new
Oh,
that's our new
don't you
Brewtiful
worry.
Game calendar that's coming out. Ron lounging in Lederhosen. Oh my god. So yeah, we're on Twitter, obviously Brewtiful Game. Follow us on Facebook. Go to the website, brewtifulgame.com, where you can find all these things. Drop us an email. Give us a rate or review, however you listen to podcasts, whether it's Apple Podcast or whether it's Stitcher, what have you. Take a screen grab, let us know, and we'll get you some fun stuff in the mail. Boom. And I think that does it.
Does it though?
It does.
That wraps us up, except for a dad joke.
Actually, wait. First. Ron, you're not here. So have you been, I don't know what kind of local news you have access to, but did you hear about the cops that all got their tires stolen? The robber that's doing that? All the cop cars are all getting their wheels stolen. So the police have been searching after them tirelessly.
I knew it. I knew you were set up for something that bad.
That was I smelled that setup coming.
Oh, everybody did. Anybody with half a brain saw that coming. God almighty. Tirelessly.
And that's the show, folks.
Tirelessly bringing you soccer and beer entertainment, the Brewtiful Game. There you go, gentlemen. Love the beer, cherish the game. Clink. The Brewtiful Game.